One important aspect of our project, Journey into Europe, was to meet and interview women. We were delighted to meet the women of Granada, and what was so special about them was that many were converts to Islam. These Western women were bringing their optimism and dynamism to Islam. About them was that many were converts to Islam. These Western women were bringing their optimism and dynamism to Islam. New vigor in the land of Andalusia. So, Assalamu alaikum, sisters. It's so nice to be here in your beautiful mosque with Alhambra Palace behind us. Can you all introduce yourselves, please?
I'm Munira Mendoza.
Fauzia Benedetti.
Zuleyha Singli. I Iman Travieso.
And Hannah Whiteman.
Okay, I was born and raised in California.
I was born in Switzerland. I've lived in England.
Born and raised in Cape Town, South Africa.
I was born in Spain.
And I was born in England.
And what attracted you to Spain?
It's enchanting. It has something about it, you know. It has a pull because, you know, we're Muslims. We have, for us this is like a heritage that we can't, I don't think we can create nowadays. It's fantastic, you know, it's beautiful. It's like the kind of the height of the Muslim reign here in Europe. Because I also live among lots of Muslim women and they have their mothers and they study and they travel and they work and I find it also now easy to talk about my religion. Now I live here among people who are similar to me, lots of Muslim friends and Muslim acquaintances, and it's easier now to be able to reach out to people because I feel more confident about it. Yeah.
Now, what is the role that women play in the mosque and in the community?
I mean, without women, there wouldn't be a community. They'd just be an
Yeah.
army.
Yeah. The men are into politics, but the women are doing the real stuff, the real work at home.
And there's a great warmth between the sisters because when we said our prayers yesterday in the mosque, everybody turned to each other and they kissed each other.
Like the Spanish.
Yeah.
Each other. Very Mediterranean.
Is that Spanish? Is that Sufi?
I think one feels family, no? Here.
It helps.
Yeah, and I think it's a Spanish habit between women to kiss each other.
Or is it la convivencia?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I suppose it's still left that kind of essence in a way. I think, you know.
You know, it's like in any small village. We are like a village inside Granada. So the convivence is sometimes we love each other. Sometimes we fight. Like in every human group, we are different personalities, different backgrounds. You know, we are in the same place because we are Muslim. So, you know, and after 30 years, you love the people who are around you.
Have you converted to Islam or were you born into Islam? What's your story?
I converted. I'm one of the...
Well, I was born because my parents converted.
My parents are Malaysian origin, so my great-grandparents are Muslim and I'm Muslim too.
I was converted to Islam, yeah, 30 few years ago. Because at that moment there were very, very few Muslim in Spain. It was like something very strange. Many years, many people tell me that I speak very well Spanish. And when I try to say, yes, I am Spanish, I am from Valladolid, the place where they speak the best Spanish. The people don't understand, no? Now start to know that there are many Spanish Muslims, you know. But before it was something impossible. As a Muslim, I feel sometimes foreigner in Spain and foreigner among the Muslims.
Are there many converts to Islam?
Yes, I think, and in the last years, here in the mosque every week is people who converted every week. The government in Spain, they say they tried to make that convivence between different communities. But when you hear the news in the TV or you read in the newspaper about Muslims, it's all
Negative.
all about terrorism and things like this. So that made it difficult, you know. But I can say that at the beginning of living here in Granada, the people of the city, they were very unconfident, you know, with us.
They couldn't stand it.
30 years back.
They wouldn't let us, if we wore a scarf, they wouldn't rent houses. There used to be, I have had rocks thrown at me. There were writings on the wall. There's a very despictive word which is called mordo in Spanish, saying like mortos go home. And they couldn't stand it. They were terrified. They thought we were going to take over the Albaicin. They thought we were going to take over Granada.
I think a huge fear factor has been created here, and it's still there. You know, my brother grew up in Spain, and the history book started at 1492, with the fall of
I
Granada.
want to ask one more question about the hijab.
You have to bring it up. It's just like the token question.
Yeah, we have to bring it up.
That's all right, I'll forgive you.
So, what are your
I think
comments?
that the hijab came.
That's all right, I'll forgive you.
So, what are your
I think
comments?
that the hijab came for the Muslim women to be respected. So this is the mission of the hijab. So in the moment that suppose any other thing, you can. This is up to you, the situation where you live, you know.
And when we wear the hijab, we are always making a political statement. And I sometimes don't have the strength I don't feel strong enough to make that political statement. I just want to go across the street and buy the bread.
Hijab is a very sort of personal thing at the moment because, as Monida says, you're like making a statement, especially in this era. If it's going to be a problem and if it's going to bring you problems, the most important thing is to dress modestly, because there's a lot of people that walk around in hijab and
The most important is the intention.
and the intention. So, you know, it's a bit of a balance thing.
Well, I started wearing a scarf when I was 18, 19, and I really felt it, and I felt empowered and strong, and I came to Spain, and it all fell apart. It really did. I had some terrible comments with my older generation, Spanish older generation in Cordoba, and I remember feeling so awful and thinking, this is the opposite of what I wanted, you know. It makes them feel bad. It reminds them something that they obviously don't understand, and I stopped wearing it, and I don't wear a scarf on a daily basis.
Some people say that European identity and Islamic identity are incompatible.
I disagree.
What do you think about that?
We're European Muslims.
I mean, for me, Islam is like a filter, you know. It's a way to filter in the good of bad, to filter in the good and to keep out the bad.
Of each
and
society
I
and
mean,
culture.
in every society there are good and bad things, you know, and Islam is just the filter of the good and the bad. Yeah.
And I think the term is European Muslims, not Muslims in Europe.
Yeah, but
Right? It's like we are
Westerners.
European and we're Muslims
Yeah.
and we're European, but we're not Muslims in Europe. We're European Muslims.
society there are good and bad things, you know, and Islam is just the filter of the good and the bad. Yeah.
And I think the term is European Muslims, not Muslims in Europe.
Yeah, but
Right? It's like we are
Westerners.
European and we're Muslims
Yeah.
and we're European, but we're not Muslims in Europe. We're European Muslims.
Okay, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Okay. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu jami'an. God's blessings and mercy upon you, all my human brothers and sisters. Today I'm going to share with you a video, an amazing video of 2 parts, about the authentic Islamic slaughter procedure on lambs and goats. On the first video, we're going to illustrate the power of God's name as the only method of submission before slaughter. On the second video, we're going to show you the complete authentic Islamic slaughter procedure, only using God's name upon slaughter, exactly the same way that all the prophets have done for thousands of years. Abraham, Noah, Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad, peace upon all of them. Not using stun guns, exactly the same way that all the prophets have done for thousands of years. Abraham, Noah, Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad, peace upon all of them. All the prophets have done for thousands of years. Abraham, Noah, Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad, peace upon all of them. Abraham, Noah, Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad, peace upon all of them. Not using stun guns or hammers or any other electrical equipments, stun guns or hammers or any other electrical equipments, simply only using God's name upon slaughter. Simply only using God's name upon slaughter. Before we proceed, I would like to mention that all the scriptures, Torah, Bible, and Quran, has been preaching of one God. Like to mention that all the scriptures, Torah, Bible, and Quran, has been preaching of one God. He is the only creator of all creations, and He is the one that worthy of being worshipped and thanked by all His creations. And He also created lambs and goats as a blessing for humans, for the purpose of food and clothing. The scriptures also preaches about a humane treatment of animals. And as humans, we only have the right to slaughter them in God's name, to be mentioned before slaughter. God's name can be mentioned in different languages and it will have the same effect. You can say God's name in English, Arabic, Hebrew, French, Chinese, as long as the slaughterer have a strong faith in the word itself. It can be mentioned in different languages and it will have the same effect. It can be mentioned in different languages and it will have the same effect. You can say God's name in English, Arabic, Hebrew, French, Chinese, as long as the slaughterer have a strong faith in the word itself. And as long as the slaughterer have a strong faith in the word itself and of the Creator and mention it, it will have the same effect and the same submission effect of the animals. It's an amazing word and it will have the same effect in different languages. These animals are bilingual and they all know God's name when it's mentioned, no matter what language. And they always feel the heart of the slaughterer if he believes in that word or he doesn't. Once the belief is there, the faith is there, and the word is mentioned, it's guaranteed effect and a guaranteed submission. La ilaha illallah. Allahu Akbar. Even there, the faith is there, and the word is mentioned, it's guaranteed effect and a guaranteed submission. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Allahu Akbar. We're going to take these animals, run them inside as a group. We're not going to separate an animal from each other. Every animal, every creations would like to have a partner, except the Almighty Lord. So to really maintain these animals to be calm, you always have to make them travel with a group. You don't separate anyone from the other. Definitely not one by himself. That would really make him very tense. It has to be 2 or more, minimum. Okay, what we're gonna do, we're gonna take the mamas, we're gonna bring him over here, and we're gonna make him submit on the ground over here. بسم الله الذي لا يضر اسمه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء وهو السميع العليم. بسم الله الله أكبر. بسم الله الله أكبر. بسم الله الله أكبر. شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء وهو السميع العليم. بسم الله الله أكبر. بسم الله الله أكبر. الله الذي لا يضر اسمه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء وهو السميع العليم. بسم الله الله أكبر. بسم الله الله أكبر. بسم الله الله أكبر. There you go, baby. This is total submission. Total submission. This guy is ready for anything to be done to him, and he's not nervous, he's not resisting. Submission. This guy is ready for anything to be done to him, and he's not nervous, he's not resisting. He's in total relaxation. No panic hormones whatsoever. And he's not nervous, he's not resisting. He's in total relaxation. No panic hormones whatsoever. See, I let him go, he gets up. Gets up. Abdulwahid, you want to do him?
No, you need to show to a skeptical person.
Bismillah. It's okay, baby, it's okay. I'm not doing anything yet. Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. It's okay, baby. Same reaction. They all react the same. The power of the word. They're more religious than most humans. Same reaction. They all react the same. The power of the word. They're more religious than most humans. Same reaction. They all react the same. The power of the word. They're more religious than most humans. Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. Bismillah, الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء وهو السميع العليم. بسم الله الله أكبر. بسم الله الله أكبر. بسم الله الله أكبر. بسم الله الله أكبر. بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء وهو السميع العليم. بسم الله الله أكبر. 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 Total submission. بسم الله الله أكبر. بسم الله الله أكبر. Total submission. These guys had a little they're coming from a bigger ranchers, so they're a little bit wild. They're not used to be touched and handled by humans, and for them to turn around and just lay down like really in total peace. Answering the calling. Definitely. The power of the word gets clearer and clearer after you see more and more submit. Probably some of you are wondering by now about the Arabic words that I use that makes the animals submit the way they did. The first term we use, and this is really the authentic procedure, one of the terms of authentic procedure that is being mentioned in the scripture, is in the name of God the greatest, which is Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. And this is really the authentic procedure, one of the terms of authentic procedure that is being mentioned in the scripture, is in the name of God the greatest, which is Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. There's a that I usually use, and it's my favorite prayer and my animal's favorite prayer. It says that I usually use, and it's my favorite prayer and my animal's favorite prayer. It says Bismillahi alladhi la yadurru ma'a ismihi shay'un fil ardi wala fis sama'i wa huwa as-sami'ul 'alim. The beauty of this prayer really shows some of the power of the word itself. It says, in the name of God, who's with his name no harm will come, neither in this earth nor in the skies. Itself. It says, in the name of God, who's with his name no harm will come, neither in this earth nor in the skies. And he's the one that hears and listens, and he's the most knowledgeable. Itself. It says, in the name of God, who's with his name no harm will come, neither in this earth nor in the skies. And he's the one that hears and listens, and he's the most knowledgeable. This is really a wonderful prayer. It really is very effective, and I would illustrate the power of it as we go on part 2 also.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the Vegan Muslim Show. Today I will be making falafel. Right now I will be making this falafel mix into smaller circular shapes. Just like that. You can press them between your palms, just a simple box, and you will mix in some water. And it's as simple as that. You stir it up, let it sit for about 15 to 20 minutes, and some radish. Roll press. And there you have it. You have a falafel sandwich. So now we have some olive oil. I will put on this hummus. Now hummus is garbanzo beans with tahini, garlic, salt, or warak anab, which is grape leaves. There's mixed rice with spices inside. And here we have tabbouleh, which is a very common Middle Eastern salad, which consists of parsley, cucumber, tomato, broken wheat called borgo, and parsley. I cut the falafel sandwich in half, which would make a good one-person portion meal. So here you have a Middle Eastern meal, and before you start eating this, you should say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Start eating this, you should say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Before you start eating this, you should say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
How did you get into vegetarianism?
Well, I started listening to music, more the punk rock genre, and they would sing about animal exploitation, vivisection, about factory farming. So that made me kind of do more research about it. About animal exploitation, vivisection, about factory farming. So that made me kind of do more research about it, and I ended up going online, looking at different forums, and also I contacted PETA and got like a vegetarian starter kit. and that included a DVD, which was like a short documentary about more of like the industrial farming methods that are used in the United States. I found it really disturbing and disgusting. And also, I grew up in an Islamic and Christian household. I grew up in an Islamic and Christian household. And also, I grew up in an Islamic and Christian household. So, in the religion of Islam, it's against torture or exploitation and vivisection of animals. Against torture or exploitation and vivisection of animals. So in the religion of Islam, it's against torture or exploitation and vivisection of animals. So I was already conscious about those being issues throughout my life, but I decided to adopt a vegetarian diet for a few months when I was in high school. Then I decided on veganism because I felt that if I was going to boycott meat, the dairy industry was connected to it, and on veganism because I felt that if I was going to boycott meat, the dairy industry was connected to it, and to actually do an effective boycott, you would have to boycott all of it. So yeah, just in research and learning, that's why. I found it to be horrible.
What other issues are you into besides animal rights?
I'm into humanitarian issues. I'm mostly into Palestinian rights, self-determination, and also divestment of Israeli companies and products. I'm also into feminism, women's rights, and rights, self-determination, and also divestment of Israeli companies and products. I'm also into feminism, women's rights. I'm into anything, actually being a Muslim, Islam says to stand up for anything that kind of is against what Islam teaches. Stand up for anything that kind of is against what Islam teaches, that you should stand up to fight against those things and also to support the religion. To fight against those things and also to support the religion. Those things and also to support the religion.
Why the Palestine?
I am part Palestinian, and even if I wasn't, I would still support the Palestinian cause. For example, my family, personal story, they were refugeed into Palestinian, and even if I wasn't, I would still support the Palestinian cause. For example, my family, personal story, they were refugeed into Lebanon. That was because the Israeli army and British colonists occupied their land, and it put them into a situation of poverty, and they struggled for many years under that, and even till this day there is an effect because of their refugeehood, and it has even translated to my life too. I just feel that there was injustice done by the Israelis and the European colonizers.
What in
And the European colonizers.